Hello, Audrey. Thank you for taking the time out today. So I'm sitting here with Audrey in Great Ryborough, and Audrey's got some serious legal problems and is facing eviction right now. So, Audrey, if you'd like to give a bit of background behind your GoFundMe, which is on with Facebook at the moment, and tell us a little bit about what's been going on here, please.
Yes, my problems started during the COVID years, right up until 2019. I've always paid my council tax, never missed a single payment. And then we run a small B&B. It's only 4 bedrooms, and we had to close down due to COVID. But during that time, if you were business rated, which we weren't, because I was only a very small B&B, only 4 bedrooms. You needed 5 or 6 bedrooms to be classed as business rated. So I only paid residential council tax. So the government were given £10,000 grants out for businesses that had to close down during the COVID time. So I didn't get it. But a few months into the COVID time, the government decided that they would give £8,000, what they called a discretionary payment. That was to small businesses that were not business rated, but had to close down. So I received £8,000. But a few days later, I then get a letter from the Valuation Office to say that they have backdated my council tax, put me into business bracket, and backdated me to 2017, and I now owe £9,400. I rang the council up, but of course they were all working from home, and was told that I was not business rated. I knew I wasn't business rated, but I said the letter says that I've been backdated. So when will I get my other 2,000? Which, if I was business rated, I should have had 10,000. The lady said, you won't get it because you're not business rated. But she didn't understand it, so she would get somebody to look into it and get back to me. Nobody has ever come back to us. My son has sent 50, 60 emails through to Cromer Council asking, can we get round the table? Can we try and sort this out? I then go into hospital and have a life-threatening operation. And while I'm convalescent, I then get council tax bills for other properties that I own, which were due to the COVID period. That means they backdated the council tax. That put me then saying I owed money on those properties, which at that point no money was owed. We were completely up to date with all council tax by April 2019. This has escalated to such an extent that Cromer Council took me to court and got the total to 15,000 with their costs and bankrupted me on July the 10th, 2024. It has escalated since then to such a degree that I have been backwards and forwards to court and solicitors' fees. We spent over 50,000 of our own money trying to fight the courts. Every time we've gone, the judge has either said, you need to come back to another case because trustees have taken the case over for the council. And they haven't told me how much I owe or anything, but the last was the judge said I needed a 3-day trial, which took place on the 16th, 17th and 18th of March this year. We were then found guilty and a possession order for 3 of my properties, one that my son has occupied all his life ever since we moved in this property in 1992. It was a village shop. My son was only 14 and a half when we came here with my mother, myself and my son. We've always lived together. We've now been here 34 years. Unfortunately, in 2011, my mother died. So in 2013, to subsidise my old age pension, we decided to open a small B&B, which I did. I rang the council up and asked if I needed to be business rated. And they said, how many bedrooms? I said, well, there's only 4, but my son occupies 1, I occupy another, so we're only looking at renting out 2. And they said, oh no, you need to be 5 or 6 bedrooms to actually warrant being a business. But I've still paid income tax because we had rentable properties as well, and never fallen foul on anything. But of course, it falls undone, it is. And at the end of the 3-day trial, the judge said that they could have possession order of 3 properties. 1 I live in at the moment, which they've said I can stay there for 6 months, and then they're tipping me out. They want my son to give the B&B up, which he has run. I passed the business over to him in 2022, and he has run the business ever since. But they've said he's no longer have that. Now, my argument to all of this is, besides the fact that I did not owe the money, and I've never owed the money, other people I know that are fighting council tax, but they owe the money. I've never owed mine, but nobody will talk to us, nobody will listen. I've been even to Cromer Council on an open meeting, and I have been forbidden to attend that meeting. My son has tried, and we're absolutely fallen on deaf ears. So we are completely out of money now, and that's why I've gone on the GoFundMe page, that we're desperate. There's no legal aid out there. You can't get it, because if you own a property, they don't want to know. But what I would like to know is it in the best interest for Cromer Council to turn, I'm now 79 years of age, to turn a 79-year-old age pensioner out on the street? Also, my son is vulnerable and he is classed as disabled. He's going to be 50 this year. Throwing him out on the street, giving up his livelihood, of which the council know that basically for the rest of our lives they have now got to find us somewhere to live and keep us both, when up until now, and even at this moment in time, while my son is still managing to run the B&B, we are solvent in our own right. Isn't it criminal to think that this is allowed to happen in 2026?
Really
so I am appealing for any help. If there's somebody out there who's strong enough, I need a very strong barrister, somebody who wants to stand on common law to actually see sense and come and help us, please.
And what is the total that they're saying that you now owe from the
total,
original
they've
sum?
not given me a total. The last time we were in court, prior to the possession order, it was £189,000.
From an original sum they said was
originally 7,400.
7,000.
7,400.
Mm.
And the problem is now that the trustees are writing and saying, while we are prolonging vacating the premises, which I feel strongly about because I've been here 34 years.
Mm.
This is our livelihood. This is our home. It's my home more than anything. And to think we're being turned out, and the money that bought these properties, I can go back. It's my ancestors, it's my parents' money, my grandparents' money. We've never had anything given to us on a plate. We've always worked. And I just think it's ludicrous. And unfortunately, this is the way society is going.
It's horrendous, isn't it? Really horrendous.
So now the last I had from the trustees is the longer we prolong actually vacating the premises and handing them over to the trustees, the harder we will be to getting to know. They won't tell me how much I owe. So how long's a piece of string? They said I can apply for pension credit because I only get state pension. £205 a week is what I get on state pension. They've said I can apply for pension credit. I've applied. They want more information. How much money will the trustees give me back when they've sold the properties? As I've said, how long's a piece of string? As they've not told me how much I owe, and I don't know who they're going to sell the properties to, probably to somebody very cheap, and then say I'm sorry at the end of it. there's no money left for you. The rest has all gone in court costs. And that's how I feel. I'm suicidal. I'm under the doctor. I've had the crisis team and everybody else. People have no idea what a strain this has been going on since 2019. They've no idea what mental strain it has. And when people say to me, what do you want to get out of this? I want my life back. That's what I want. I'm not so much worried over the money. The money's gone. They've stripped every penny. They've took all my premium bonds. They've stripped my bank accounts. I have absolutely nothing. And in fact, for 6 weeks, I had to ring the insolvency practitioner up because they said that my pension weren't even coming to me. DWP were writing to me and saying, we can't pay your pension. No, because they'd shut all my bank accounts down. And then they reopened that one so I get my pension back. But as I said, £205 a week won't keep a house. +2, where do I go? I don't want to go in a sheltered accommodation. I'm quite able-bodied person. I'm not ready for nursing home. +2, look at the cost in the country. I was quite prepared to keep myself. I've never been on the country for anything, so I don't know why. The amusing part was I had a year. Somebody might say, you had a year to annul the case, which I did. But we paid a separate practitioner £8,400 to ask how much the bill was. And at that point, we were only 2 months into my year. They wanted £87,000. So they said it was their costs. How can you expect their costs to go up from 7,400, 9,600, 15,000 the day I went to court, and then jump to £89,000 is ludicrous. And then even at our trial, this 3-day trial, the solicitor was allowed to have a 75% uplift of his salary if he won the day. Now, is that fair?
No.
That to me is corporate bullying at the very least.
Right.
I've had tenants that my son collects the rents and properties that he owes and I owe that have left because they've written to them telling them that they're going to be made homeless. My son runs the fish and chip shop in Ryborough. The people there have left because the trustees have intimidated them so much that they've just become nervous wrecks and have left. And so I just don't know. We just need somebody who's strong enough who will take our case up. Please, I'm begging somebody, because this is getting to such a degree that we don't know where we're going to end up.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you. We shall share this wide. Thank you very much, Audrey.